Most people think living well on $30,000 a year is next to impossible. Picturing endless ramen noodles and giving up everything fun. But here's the contrarian reality. According to the Federal Reserve's 2022 survey, nearly 40% of Americans making much more still can't cover a $400 TVSUS emergency expense. Yet there are folks thriving on even less, building savings and enjoying life. So what's their secret? In the next few minutes, I'll break down proven, actionable strategies that let you not only survive, but truly thrive on an income under $30,000 without giving up what matters most. I'm John from Money Masters. And by the end of this video, you'll have a concrete blueprint to make your money work smarter, no matter your salary. Ready to flip the script and see how it's done? Let's dive in. Before we get started, important disclaimer. This video shares educational examples and general strategies, not individual financial advice. Always consider your unique circumstances and consult a professional as needed. Now, let's kick things off with a true story. Because nothing makes these ideas real like seeing them in action. I once knew a guy named Marcus, a part-time librarian making about $28,000 a year. His co-workers always seemed stressed, complaining about being broke, eating cheap fast food daily, and scraping by with zero left for fun. Meanwhile, Marcus regularly brought homemade meals that looked restaurant-worthy, went on weekend trips, and somehow managed to save money every month. His secret wasn't extraordinary luck or family money. He had a repeatable system. And that's exactly what I'm about to map out for you. First, you need to completely rethink how you approach money and value. Too many people spend on whatever pops up, and then pray there's something left at month's end. It's backwards. This habit leads even some six-figure earners to live paycheck to paycheck and feel anxious about every unexpected bill. The solution: be intentional with every single dollar that comes your way. Let's start by anchoring the entire system. Fixed expenses. These are your non-negotiable monthly bills: rent, utilities, insurance, phone, subscriptions. Picture your income as a bucket with holes. These fixed costs are the leaks draining you every month. The most common mistake I see is people budget based on their gross income, not their real take-home pay. If your salary is $30,000, you're probably pocketing $22,000 to $24,000 after taxes, depending on your state and deductions. That breaks down to roughly $2,000 a month, not $2,500. Here's the golden rule for housing, especially when your income's tight. Cap housing at no more than 30% of your take-home pay. Even less, if possible. So, $2,000 a month. Your target? $600 or less on housing. Sound impossible? Let's talk tactics. But the biggest win might come from a strategy most people overlook. I'll show you how one simple move cut a friend's housing costs to nearly zero. In just a moment. Let's break down 3 proven housing hacks. Strategy 1: house hacking. Don't be scared by the name. It doesn't require a real estate license or a massive down payment. Here's how it works. You find a duplex or small house with a rentable basement. You live in one part, rent out the other, and use your tenant's rent to offset or even cover your entire mortgage. Sound far-fetched? Marcus's friend bought a small duplex for $90,000. He lived on one side, rented the other, and the rent basically paid the mortgage plus insurance. Instead of paying $800 in rent, he brought his cost down to nearly zero. Imagine what you could do with an extra $800 a month. Throw it at student loans. Start investing or finally build that emergency fund. If buying isn't on the table yet, here's another play: roommates. It's not glamorous, but splitting a decent two-bedroom with one other person often beats the price of even a tiny studio. You'll not only save on rent, but can split utilities, and, with the right setup, maybe even food costs. And don't forget geographic arbitrage, a fancy term for move somewhere cheaper. If you're paying $1,200 for a one-bedroom in a high-cost city, that same money might snag you a two-bedroom house in a smaller town, or cover both rent and utilities elsewhere, even if your job pays a little less. Dropping your housing costs by $500 or $600 per month gives you a huge boost in real spending power. According to Apartment List's 2023 data, the monthly median rent in smaller markets can be half that of major urban centers. Not everyone can relocate, but even moving a few neighborhoods over may save hundreds. But housing's just one piece. Coming up, I'll show you how most Americans accidentally pour almost a third of their income down the drain every year without realizing it. Can you guess which expense I'm talking about? Ready for it. It's transportation. According to AA, the average American spends over $9,000 annually just getting around: car payments, gas, insurance, maintenance. When you're living on $30,000 or less, that's nearly a third of your income eaten up by driving. Let's talk about the car trap. Here's a tough truth. That shiny car payment, it may feel like success, but it's more likely your biggest obstacle to financial progress. Every $300 or $400 a month you send to a lender is cash you're not saving, investing, or using for emergencies. The solution is: go with reliable, older vehicles paid for in cash. Think a 10-year-old Toyota Camry or Honda Civic. They won't wow anyone at a stoplight, but you'll slash costs for years to come. Picture yourself. Instead of stressing about a $400 payment, you're watching your savings grow each month. Peace of mind, every drive. If you absolutely must finance, set a hard rule. Never borrow more than you can repay in 2 years. Only take a loan you know you'll crush in 24 months. Why? Because stretching car debt over 60 months just bleeds money through interest. The banks love those, but your wallet won't. And for those living anywhere with decent buses or trains, ask yourself honestly, do you even need a car? Ride shares, rentals, and transit pass options can often cover all your transportation needs for a fraction of what a car costs. Pause with me for a second. What's your current car situation? Payment or paid for? Drop your answer below. And if you've cut a transportation expense, let the Money Masters community know how you did it. Once you've plugged those big expense holes, it's time to attack one of the sneakiest budget drains: food. According to the USDA, the average American household spends over $7,000 a year on food, with nearly half blown on restaurants and takeout. If you're bringing home $30,000 or less, those $3,000 restaurant splurges are a luxury you simply can't afford if you want to get ahead. Here's the myth. Cooking at home must mean boring, flavorless meals, and hours sweating over a stove. Not true. With just a bit of planning, you can actually eat better than most while spending way less. Imagine opening your fridge to delicious leftovers, homemade, tasty, and paid for, not charged to your card. The magic starts with basic meal planning, and I'm not talking about complicated meal prep. Spreadsheets. Spend 15 minutes every weekend. Sundays work well, picking out meal ideas for the week. You don't have to go chef mode, just decide what you'll make and avoid last-minute takeout panic. Build your meals around versatile, cheap staples. Rice, beans, eggs, chicken thighs, potatoes, onions, and whatever veggies are on sale. You'll get everything you need to make stir-fries, stews, breakfast bowls satisfying. Filling meals for $2 a serving or less. Think that's impressive? Wait until you see what happens when you leverage your freezer to build a stash of nearly free home-cooked convenience meals coming up in 2 minutes. Here's the game changer. The freezer is your friend. When you spot meat on clearance, grab and freeze it. If you cook a big batch of chili, stew, or soup, portion and freeze the extras. You're building your own stash of instant meals for a fraction of what you'd pay for prepackaged dinners. Let's also talk grocery psychology. Stores are expertly designed to drain your wallet. High-priced items at eye level, seductive scents in the bakery. And those impulse buys at checkout are no accident. Never go shopping hungry, and always use a list. Yeah. If it's not on the list, it stays on the shelf. That $5 impulse snack doesn't seem like much now, but over the weeks, it's the difference between having gas money or scrambling to make rent. What's the one food splurge you know you could swap for homemade if it saved you $1,000 this year? Comment below. Let's build a list of go-to budget meals in the Money Masters community. Now, let's touch on entertainment and social spending. A place where a tight budget can fall apart fast if you're not careful. No, you don't have to become a hermit, but you do need to be creative about fun. Social pressure is real. When friends have bigger budgets, it's hard not to feel out of the loop or embarrassed to say no. Here's what experience and research say. The right people will respect your goals and often appreciate budget-friendly alternatives. Instead of turning down every invitation, become the person who suggests potluck dinners, hiking, free museum days, game nights, or movie marathons at home. Not only do these cost less, but most people end up preferring them for the relaxed vibe and connection. Imagine your living room filled with friends, laughter, good food, and knowing you didn't break the bank to have a great night. Libraries are another overlooked gold mine, offering not just books, but free movies, events, internet, and sometimes even tool checkouts. Some cities now have public makerspaces for everything from crafts to electronics, accessible for free with your card. Plus, thrift stores and consignment shops are a style hack for affordable clothes and household goods. The average piece at Goodwill costs less than $6, compared to $30 plus for new. According to the National Association of Resale and Thrift Shops, thrifting can cut clothing costs by 80% or more. Here's a mental trick, as before any non-essential purchase, calculate its work hour cost. If your take-home is $12 per hour, that $60 shirt is 5 hours of your life. Is it worth it? Sometimes yes, but much more often, you'll find that a pass is the smarter move. Next, let's talk about the importance of emergency funds on a low income. When your margin is tight, small emergencies can spiral. Experts recommend having 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside, but when you're just starting, even $100 is life-changing, sir. Save $5 or $10 a week, and you'll be amazed at how quickly security grows. The goal at first: build the habit, not a huge number. Once you hit that first $100, you'll feel noticeably less anxious about every unexpected bill. Wondering how to make saving automatic? I'll show you the set-it-and-forget-it system that takes you from worrying about money to actually enjoying it coming up. Differentiate between wants and needs, a skill most people never master, thanks to marketing's constant barrage. Do you really need that new phone? Or is it just what ads say you should want it? You don't need a gym membership when home workouts or park runs work. Cut the cable bill. Streaming services can offer the same or better for less. The key is intentionality. Spend on what truly improves your life, not what delivers a 30-second dopamine hit. Imagine finally buying that one thing you truly value, guilt-free, because you've said no to a dozen things that don't matter. Now, let's get systematic. Success on a tight budget depends on predictable, easy-to-follow routines. Automate transfers to savings, even if it's only $25 a month. Use apps like Mint or YNAB, or even a simple free Google Sheet, to categorize and track every dollar. And here's a pro tip. Schedule a 10-minute money date each week to check your progress. Review upcoming bills, and make any needed tweaks. Keep it simple. Low-maintenance systems work best. Want my actual budget spreadsheet template to start today? The link is pinned below. Grab it free and see if you can do better than Marcus did. Subscriptions are a sneaky threat. Streaming, apps, software, gyms, they add up quickly, often without you realizing. Go through the last 3 months of your statements. Highlight every recurring charge. You'll likely spot ones you forgot about. Old software sign-ups, that streaming service you used for one show, abandoned gym memberships. Cancel all but the essentials. That quick 15-minute exercise might free up $50 to $100 per month, without any pain. But there's an even bigger savings win hiding right in plain sight. One that most people completely ignore. I'll reveal it in a minute. Here's the next layers. Insulate yourself against negative peer influence. Your social circle has a huge sway on your financial life. If you're constantly around people who splurge without thinking, you'll be tempted to match. Don't cut off relationships, but do notice who respects your choices. Suggest alternatives rather than just declining. If someone reacts badly to your honest budgeting, that's important information about them, not you. Picture this. You suggest a free event, everyone loves it, and the night ends with compliments about how fun and stress-free it was. Leadership by example. Finally, let's tackle insurance, a critical but often overpriced necessity. Yes, you need coverage, but not at any price. According to NerdWallet's 2023 analysis, switching providers yearly saves an average of $400 per driver. Get quotes annually, even if you're satisfied. Consider raising deductibles if your emergency fund is solid. A $250 to $1,000 jump typically reduces premiums by $30 to $40 monthly. That's $360 to $480 per year back in your pocket. Quick reminder, insurance needs are personal, so always consult a licensed agent for specific recommendations. So what happens if you put even half these strategies into play? Boss. Let's recap, and I'll show you exactly what thriving on $30K or less could look like by years. And living on $30,000 or less isn't just possible, it's often freeing. You'll sleep better without debt stress. Worry less because you've built habits and buffers. And might even find that your happiest moments are the ones you create without spending money at. Oh, remember, these aren't secrets, just common sense most people never learn. Living well on less isn't luck. It's a skill anyone can master. Start with 1 or 2 changes. Build momentum. And before you know it, your old financial stress will be a distant memory. When a friend suggests splitting the bill equally at an expensive restaurant, You'll be the one confidently suggesting the game night at your place, with cash left over for your goals. If you've stayed to this point, you're already proving you have what it takes to make these changes. And for those who want to take the next step, don't forget, my budget spreadsheet with built-in cost-cutting and emergency fund trackers is linked below, completely free. Let's recap what we've covered today. There's nothing magical or impossible about living well on $30,000 or less. Once you work your system, first, cut fixed housing and transportation costs using tactics like house hacking, roommates, and older paid-for cars. Tackle food spending with meal planning, smart staples, and freezer prep. Social costs can be managed with creative, affordable fun, and being honest about your budget. Build your emergency fund bit by bit. Automate savings and expense tracking. And hunt down every unnecessary subscription. Reevaluate your spending based on needs versus wants. Shop regularly for better insurance rates. Most importantly, remember that intentionality, habits, and small wins compound over time. And letting go of comparison makes the journey enjoyable. For immediate action, choose one area, maybe housing, meals, or subscriptions, and do a full audit this week. Use the free spreadsheet linked below to map your monthly costs. Over the next 30 days, make one change in each category. In 6 to 12 months, you'll see powerful results. Less stress, more savings, and better options for your future. Expect to feel lighter after your first $100 saved. And track your growth every month using the template. If you made it here, you're serious. You're done. Subscribe for more strategies that make thriving on $30K possible. Want to help a friend beat the paycheck-to-paycheck traps? Share this video, and let's expand the Money Masters community together. And if you have a cost-cutting success story, drop it below. I love featuring real wins in future videos. Remember, this content is for education. Every financial situation is unique, not financial advice. Always consult a qualified professional. Stay smart, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next Money Masters episode.